You've been told nuts are healthy, right? Heart-healthy fats, protein, minerals sounds perfect. But here's what nobody's telling you. If you're a man over 50, eating the wrong nuts could mean quietly flooding your system with plant estrogens, grinding down testosterone, and yes, nudging erectile performance in the wrong direction. Even while you think you're doing something good for your heart. The twist is that the snacks and add-ins most loudly marketed as super healthy often top the list of offenders. This isn't scare talk. It's about how specific plant compounds interact with aging male hormones. As testosterone naturally trends lower with age, the system becomes more sensitive to inputs that tilt balance toward estrogen or chronic inflammation. By understanding which nuts and nut-adjacent foods can push you off course, and which ones actually support circulation, metabolic health, and hormone production, you can shape daily choices that favor energy, vitality, and sexual function. Nuts can influence male hormones and sexual health through 4 main levers. Phytoestrogens that mimic estrogen at cellular receptors. 2. Minerals such as zinc and selenium that are essential substrates and cofactors for steroidogenesis. 3. Inflammatory tone, which directly affects vascular function and endocrine signaling. And 4. Omega fatty acid profiles that steer everything from nitric oxide availability to cholesterol handling, both relevant to hormone synthesis. Master these levers and you'll know what to limit, what to emphasize, and how to time and store your choices, so delicate oils stay fresh and helpful rather than rancid and inflammatory. Body AD, start with the 4 to limit or avoid. First up, soy nuts. They aren't tree nuts at all, but roasted soybeans, often shelved beside almonds and pistachios as a heart-smart protein. Soy is rich in isoflavones, especially genistein and digoxin, potent phytoestrogens that can bind to estrogen receptors and shift signaling. Research frequently cited in this conversation observes that men eating roughly 2 soy servings per day showed substantially lower sperm counts compared with those who didn't. And a controlled trial using about 56 GH of soy protein daily for 4 weeks reported an average testosterone drop near 19%. For an older man already facing age-related decline, that additional dip can be the difference between feeling switched on and feeling flat. Processing matters. Fermentation, as in natto or tempeh, reduces phytoestrogen activity, but soy nuts are simply roasted, leaving isoflavone content concentrated. 1 serving can climb toward 150 micrometers, which for the sensitive individual is like adding an estrogenic nudge at every snack, because aromatase activity tends to rise with age, converting more testosterone to estrogen. Layering dietary phytoestrogens on top is a recipe for imbalance. Many men who cut soy nuts report better energy and more frequent morning erections within 2 to 3 weeks. If soy is your main snack protein, consider alternatives. Second, ground flaxseed. The health store darling billed as a fiber-dense, omega-3, prostate-friendly add-in. Flax is uniquely high in lignans, a distinct phytoestrogen class, measured at sky-high concentrations, hundreds of times greater than most plants. To glimpse the scale, a single tablespoon of ground flax can pack more phytoestrogen than a full cup of soy milk. In clinical settings, intakes around 30 GHz day, about 3 tablespoons, have been associated with each 15% reductions in testosterone in just a month. And lignans also tend to raise sex hormone-binding globulin, SHBG, by notable margins, locking away some fraction of free testosterone so it's less bioavailable. The omega-3 case for flax hinges on ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, which the body must convert to EPA-DHA. Male conversion efficiencies are typically low, often estimated near 5 to 8%, while higher rates in women are thought to be estrogen-assisted. Translation: flax's headline omega-3 benefit may underdeliver for men. Ethan, 58, had been whirling ground flax into smoothies for years. After dropping the habit, his labs later showed free testosterone up by about 22% within 6 weeks. and his feedback was candid. It's like the lights came back on. Third, those flashy flavored nuts. Gas station honey roasted mixes, cinnamon sugar almonds, BBQ cashews, or anything with a licorice anise note. They feel like a virtuous swap for candy, but they bundle several hormone-hostile factors. The licorice angle alone is eye-opening. Glyceric acid, the active compound in true licorice flavorings, has been documented to dent testosterone markedly, on the order of 44% in just 4 days, at intakes as small as a few grams. Mechanistically, glyceric acid interferes with enzymes early in steroidogenesis and tends to push cortisol upward, a stress hormone that opposes testosterone's effects. Even without licorice, industrial roasting temperatures can exceed 300 degrees, creating acrylamides and advanced glycation end products that fuel inflammation and can stress hormone-producing cells. Most flavored mixes are tumbled in cheap seed oils high in omega-6, skewing the omega-6-omega-3 ratio far from the TH4.1. Many experts target an up toward 20.1, or worse, a pattern tied to systemic inflammation and impaired endothelial function. Add sugar coatings and you get sharp insulin spikes. Chronically high insulin suppresses testosterone synthesis and drives fat storage at the waist. Abdominal adipose, in turn, pushes aromatase higher, diverting what testosterone remains into estrogen. Carlos, a creature of habit, downed a can of honey-roasted mixed nuts daily, convinced it was a clean treat. His total T hovered at 285 ngdl, clinically low by many lab ranges. After 3 months replacing those with raw equivalents, his labs leapt to 425 ngdl, and he was 12 pounds lighter, with no other changes reported. Fourth, peanuts. Like soy, they're legumes, not tree nuts. And while not inherently bad, frequent, high-volume intake can be counterproductive for men. Peanuts carry a heavy omega-6 load with minimal omega-3 to buffer it, favoring a pro-inflammatory milieu that can touch vascular and endocrine tissues alike. They're also vulnerable to aflatoxins, fungal metabolites, that stress the liver, an organ central to hormone metabolism, SHBG production, and estrogen clearance. On top of that, peanuts are a common allergen. Even mild, undiagnosed sensitivities may generate a trickle of inflammation that quietly dulls testosterone production and blood flow dynamics. If you love peanut butter, enjoy it a few times a week rather than daily. Look for organic Valencia sources, typically drier grown and less prone to aflatoxin. And pair peanut days with omega-3 rich meals. Now the encouraging half. 4 choices that can support testosterone-friendly physiology. The standout is the Brazil nut. These big, creamy seeds from the Amazon are selenium powerhouses. A single nut typically delivers out to 90-100 mcg, often near or above a full day's requirement. Selenium concentrates in the testes and thyroid and is crucial for shielding Leydig cells, the testosterone-producing factories, from oxidative stress, a burden that rises with age. In men starting from low selenium status, supplementation over about 3 months has been associated with average testosterone increases around 35% and sperm motility improvements above 50%. While those trials used capsules, Brazil nuts package selenium with other helpful compounds and a food matrix many find easy to absorb. They also contribute boron, about 1.7 milliliters per ounce, a mineral that can lower SHBG and ease more testosterone into the free active pool. Data using TH10 milliliter day of boron show increases in free T by roughly 28% and drops in estradiol on the order of TH39%. 6 Brazil nuts land you near half that boron amount. The operative word is moderation. 1 to 2 Brazil nuts daily is the sweet spot. More risks selenium excess. For quality, choose organic from Brazil or Bolivia. Store in the freezer to protect delicate oils and discard any that taste metallic or bitter. Many men prefer taking them with breakfast to front-load selenium when the body's testosterone output is naturally higher. A number report clearer energy and sharper focus within a week. Next, macadamias. Their benefit profile is different. Exceptionally low omega-6 and extraordinarily high monounsaturated fat, often about 80% of total fat, beating even olive oil on that metric. That combination supports insulin sensitivity, cardiovascular health, and the cholesterol supply chain from which steroid hormones are built, while keeping inflammation in check. They're also rich in thiamine, vitamin B1, a cofactor in energy metabolism that helps the body turn raw nutritional inputs into usable energy for cells, including hormone-making tissues. The practical prescription is simple: 10 to 12 raw or dry roasted, unsalted macadamias a day. They're calorie-dense, so portion awareness helps. But many find macadamias uniquely satiating. Third, tiger nuts, chufa. Despite the name, these are tubers, long popular in parts of Africa and Spain, and only recently rediscovered more widely. Extracts in animal studies have driven testosterone up dramatically, on the order of 2x, 3x, while small human data suggest more modest but meaningful bumps, roughly 15-20%. Their plausible mechanisms: abundant arginine, the nitric oxide precursor that enhances blood flow, with concurrent supplies of zinc and vitamin E, both vital for male reproductive health. Tiger nuts taste naturally sweet. Enjoy them raw, roasted, milled into flour, or blended into horchata de chufa. A practical serving is about 1/4 cup daily. A nice bonus: they carry resistant starch that feeds beneficial gut microbes, and a healthier gut ecosystem often means lower systemic inflammation and better metabolic signaling at large. Fourth, pistachios. Standouts for erectile function. In a clinical trial setting, men who ate about 100 grams daily for 3 weeks improved erectile function scores significantly. Some reported improvements approaching 50%. Pistachios bring a synergistic trio: arginine for nitric oxide-driven blood flow, antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin to protect vascular endothelium, and phytosterols that support healthy cholesterol handling. They're also relatively lighter in calories per handful compared with several other nuts. And in-shell eating slows pace, fosters mindfulness, and curbs overeating. A stress-taming ritual in itself. A practical target is 40 to 50 in-shell pistachios per day, unsalted or lightly salted. Deeper green hues often reflect richer antioxidant content. Putting it all into a workable routine is straightforward. Daily essentials: 1 to 2 Brazil nuts for selenium, plus a rotating handful of macadamias, tiger nuts, or pistachios for steady support. Alternate across the week to diversify benefits without overdoing any one food. Say, Monday macadamias, Tuesday pistachios, Wednesday tiger nuts, looping that pattern. Timing can help. Brazil nuts with breakfast to align with morning hormone rhythms. Pistachios in the afternoon for stable energy without a sugar crash. Tiger nuts in the evening, where their resistant starch can quietly nourish the gut overnight. What to avoid or cap tightly? Soy nuts and ground flax if testosterone is a priority. Peanuts kept to a few weekly servings. And all highly flavored, sugar-coated, or industrially roasted nut snacks. Remember that nuts are rich in delicate oils that oxidize quickly. Rancid oils are pro-inflammatory and counterproductive. Store Brazil nuts and macadamias in the freezer. Keep pistachios and tiger nuts in airtight containers in a cool, dark cupboard. Buy smaller amounts more often rather than giant bags that linger. If anything smells like paint, tastes bitter, or seems off, toss it. The cost of eating rancid fats far outweighs any perceived thrift. Set expectations realistically. No nut will restore the testosterone profile of a 20-year-old, nor replace evaluation and care from a doctor or a urologist for serious erectile dysfunction. What these choices can do is support your body's own production and vascular dynamics. Most men who dial in their nut selection notice changes on a sensible timeline, a lift in daytime energy within a week or two, more reliable morning erections, and a general sense of vitality by weeks 3 to 4, and lab-measurable improvements in testosterone after 2 to 3 months of consistency. The broader strategy is simple. Reduce inputs that push estrogenic signaling or chronic inflammation. High phytoestrogen sources like soy nuts and flax, omega-6 heavy or sugar-coated snack mixes, frequent peanut binges, and emphasize foods that supply critical minerals, friendlier fats, and circulation-supportive compounds. Brazil nuts for selenium and boron, macadamias for monounsaturated fat and B vitamins, tiger nuts for arginine, zinc, vitamin E, and gut benefits, pistachios for vascular antioxidants and nitric oxide support. If peanut butter is a favorite, keep it occasional and balanced with omega-3 rich meals. Make the 4 supportive choices your daily go-tos. 2 easy moves to begin tomorrow. Add 1 or 2 Brazil nuts to breakfast, and swap your usual snack for a small bowl of in-shell pistachios. Give that rhythm 30 days and take inventory. Energy, drive, and sexual function often follow suit when inflammation drops and the right raw materials show up consistently. Food won't fix everything, but for men over 50, choosing the right nuts is a low-effort, high-leverage way to back the hormones and circulation that keep you feeling strong and vital.